Hi everyone. Um, I'm actually going to be doing a craft today. This is a craft in memorial to one of my viewers who passed away in November. Uh, I hadn't heard from her for a while, so I emailed her few days ago and let her know that, she was kind of missed in the comments and everything. I got an email back that it wasn't from her. It was from her husband, informing me that Grace had passed away November 27th. He and she both had suffered a great loss. But it affected her so deeply that she followed after her son, who had passed the month before. And I miss her. She did email me. We did talk. She was, of course, a subscriber, but she was a friend as well. So today I am going to pay tribute to Grace. Her name was Grace Bramold, and that's what she was in the comments. So if you missed Grace in the comments of my videos since November, that's the reason why she's passed on. So I wanted to do this. I learned of this a few days ago, and I was just going to do a live before I had found out this information. And I figured there's no better way to show how much she meant to me than to do this craft for her today. So let me go ahead and get things set up the rest of the way, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what you see here is the setup for resin crate. Sorry, I can't reach my camera too easily here. Okay, well, hopefully that's all straight now. Anyway, bought this new mask so that I can use it while I'm doing things with mica powders and casting powders. Those things are really hazardous to your lungs. They have a tendency to stick to your lungs. They do not degrade over time. And so if you breathe this stuff in, it's going to be there. And it's going to build until it destroys your lungs. Now, I hear so many people not using their masks or their respirators, and I can hear it in their videos. And a lot of them are friends. And because you guys are friends, please don't let me lose another one, okay? It's going to be my turn soon enough. So let's not rush you guys, all right? Use your protection. Get a mask like this. It's soft. The nose is workable. It comes with these interchangeable masks in here. These little discs right here that hold, these are what needs to be removed or moved in order to add, a fresh one. It also comes with a shield. And the shield is to help keep your eyes, your mucous membranes of your eyes, free and clear. And boy, if I could see to do this, I would be like, oh, okay, I had it the wrong way. I am doing most of this by feel, everyone. And so it'll take me a second or two. Grace, if you're up there, hon, don't laugh. Oh, you can laugh if you want. And then it goes over your ears, as if I don't have enough over my ears already with the oxygen tubes and all that stuff. Now you should be able to hear a difference with me wearing this. And that's the difference that I listen for when I'm watching others. Sorry, my cannula slipped a little bit. Alright, so I just realized I cannot wear the mask. Well, I can wear the mask, I can't wear the visor. My glasses are in the way. Alright, so the visor is off. Now, to put the mask itself on. There we go. Put it on the right way. Alright, I got my mask on. My oxygen's in with it, so I'm okay. Although it's a little warm in there. Alright, so I'm not sure how much this mold is going to take. But this is, I think, a fitting mold to use. It is a mother bird with a baby bird. And so I figured this would be like Grace and her son. Now, the other item I need to discuss with you is, because we all know that my eyes are going to crap all the way, but I still want to craft. It drives me nuts not to. And so, about this.
Hello. 0.
Ta-da!
0.17 ounces.
Ta-da!
Reset to 0.
Ta-da! See how that is, everybody? That is so awesome! I'm going to have to move my desk for a second. Luckily, it only just shakes the camera. Sorry, I have to grab some water. And I had it up in my other cupboard. All right. It will shut itself off as well after no use. So I'm going to...
Minus 0.17 ounces. 0.
Then I bought these off of Temu. These are supposed to be for resin crete.
0.
Sorry, my arm touched it. It's sensitive. These are supposed to be for resin crete. At least that's what the image shows in Temu. $24 colors. And we're going to see how these work today. I am not sure what color Grace favored. But I do want to pay good tribute to her as much as I can. So maybe we're going to try for a marbling effect. And what I'm going to do in order to do things without spilling everywhere.
Power off.
Right, power off. I'm going to move this to the back. And I've got some cups here. And I'd like to do a kind of a marbling effect. So we're going to put 3 there. And I can't imagine this would take more than 400 grams. So I'll make up about 400 grams. And this is my mixing bowl. I do have actual resin crete colors, but I think they might have dried up after all this time. I have my whisk that I use. Those ridiculous gloves that are so big that they send with kits all the time. Colors that I mixed for resin-crete. And let's try to get this show on the road. I'm going to make do without these other cups here. And we're going to set this here. I'm going to pause you for a second and I'll be right back. Alright, let's get this turned back on.
Hello. 0.
Now see, it goes to 0 automatically, but if you lift this, it knows how much this
Minus
is.
3.45 ounces.
And then you put it back on, it goes back to 0.
0.
Alright, let's get some measurements out here. Okay, I've got this on ounces, so I have to change it to grams.
Unit pound. Unit gram.
Alright. Now, no matter how well you set this down in there and dump it easy, you're going to create a coop. And you're going to breathe that in.
69 grams.
Unless you have a mask. Wear a mask with your glitters, with your casting powder, your micas. Don't ruin your lungs. You don't want to be in my position.
131 grams. $218 grams.
And yes, just in case I do have another mold. But I don't want to make too little.
229 grams. 279 grams. 283 grams.
See, it did notice a weight change as that left.
$358 grams.
Okay, and a little bit more. $390 grams. 398 grams. $400 grams. Alright, we're going to 400. That means, since this is a 10 to 3, and this is not resin-crete, this is Yob Top, which I get off of Temu all the time, and it works just as well. Sometimes resin-crete is cheaper when they go on good sale, and I'll buy resin-crete over this, but I'll buy this when I can get this a lot less. You know, it's cost effective. Alright, so we have 400 grams there. What is 30 times 4? That's 120. But I have, so yes, it's a 10 to 3. I have a thing that I like to get details.
Power off.
That does get annoying though. That part. Power off. Anyway, what was I saying? I know I was saying something. Oh, I like to have it a little more liquidy. So instead of 120, I add an extra 5 grams per 100. So that's 35 grams. So that's 140 grams of water. So that's what we're going to do. Now before I do that, I'm going to pause you one more time. Alright, so we have our 400 grams of casting powder. We have our 140 grams of water. I have 3 separate cups here. I have red, blue, red, and yellow. And as you'll notice on the label, You can tell it's a faux resin-crete product because it says resin-crete, not resin-crete together, resin-crete. So we're going to see how this pigment works. Normally, I would put these pigments in with the liquid. It mixes so much better that way. However, since I have to have a lot of white, what I need to do is get this mixed together real fast and then separate some into each cup and mix it real quick with that. And with that said, you know what I just realized? I forgot my mixing sticks. Ha 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 ha. Funny, 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 Mars. Back in a second again. Okay, so let's get these dropped into the cups first. Okay, we got blue. I'm going to do blue, yellow, and red. That way I'll get purples and greens, and hopefully. Now, these have never been opened yet, so I don't know if they're needing to be opened. It looks like they probably are. Yes, they are. Okay, let me take these little rings off. And then, boy, it's been a while. I don't know where my little pokers are for these types of bottles. So I have to find a push pin. I always take the rings off because most times I will drop them down the end. And yeah, of course that's me. All right, back again, hold on. All right, couldn't find a push pin or nothing else like that. So I went into my little old jar here. It collects just about every little thing. And I found a self-tapping screw. And it worked. It worked beautifully. So it is going to stay in the box with these items for the next time I need to use something like that. Like when I choose a different color in this box. I have my oximeter on so that you can see that while wearing my respirator and my oxygen, by the way, that is what I'm at, is 99. So this respirator or this mask works wonderful with an oxygen feed, I might add. Now, for those of you that do not have oxygen feed, I can't tell you anything more than that because I can't take my oxygen off. Or just on its own, my oxygen will drop. And then my heart will begin to struggle, and then I can go into a heart attack very quickly. So I don't take my oxygen off anymore at all. Anyway, so now we're to the point that we can add these colors. The directions did say that these are highly pigmented and that it will stain. So you need to be wary of that. I'm not going to actually add the pigment until after this is mixed. But I want to be ready to do that. So caps are off. Watch me make the hugest mess possible now. That would definitely be something Grace would laugh at. All right. I will take my mask off once the powder is mixed and out of the air. I'm going to pour in about a little over half of the water first and then begin top mixing so I can get that powder nice down in there. I do love this Yob Top stuff. Now remember, all casting powders will tend to sink after you stop stirring. That's why you end up with, you know, a sludge at the bottom that you have to pour out. So I always tend to stir in between. Ooh, I'm not used to doing this at all, for sure. And I know I'm shaking the camera around. See if I lift this up for you. Alright, I'm going to set this down now for a second. Let's pour a little bit of this off into each one of these. There's one. Two. Three. Okay, now that those have poured off, we want to stick the whisk back in, stir again. Okay, I have just the one stick, so I'm going to give a few squirts in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 blue. Okay, let's get that out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yellow. Let's make it really yellow. Okay. And then we've got some red here. So, one. Whoa! Okay, that one went sideways, huh? It just sort of just everywhere. At least it didn't go into yellow. Okay, we have this to wipe the stick because I've only got the one stick. And let's start with the yellow first, just in case, for transference sake, blah, 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 blah. Wow, that is quite pigmented. I like that. Okay. We'll wipe that off. Get to the red. Hope it stays kind of really red, but it's not going to. It's going to go pink. Always does. Let's see if we can add a little bit more red to that. Okay, I don't know how many drops because this one just wants to squirt out. So let's see. Oh, that's a lot better. Still pink, but it'll do. And then let's get this blue. And now, we're going to do something I've wanted to try for a while. Don't think I've seen it done yet. Of course, I am blindish. Well, most of the way blind. We'll just say it that way. I am truly legally blind. I finally did hear from the Medicaid people again. They finally sent me the list of case management people. I have to contact every single one to see if they've got room for me. So, it'll be that, right? I'm still on a wait. Still don't know what's going on. Okay. Now that I have these stirred like that, I'm going to go ahead and add a few more drops of each color. But I'm not stirring them in. All right. Let's get my mold over here. A little bit there. Go ahead and get this stirred up one more time. It is starting to thicken. All right, here we go. Put that there. And then, oops, we're going to add this here. Going to add this here. It's starting to thicken at the bottom. Trying to go quickly, everyone. And okay, here we go. Very quickly. One and done. All right, here we go. A little bit of that. Now some tippy tappies. I'm just going to wiggle it a little bit. And because it looks like it might keel over, I'm going to put it in here. I hope this is level. I don't think so. Little crud. That's a little bit better. And I did put way too much in this. So, oh boy, yep. Let's go with this one. If I can hurry before it sets all the way in there. Go and burp it real fast. Yes, I'm doing something dangerous. I'm taking it off the edge here. And I should have just enough. Whoa, don't move that dodo. All right, I'll do it. A little dangerous when you can't see crap. Well, I guess that's it for the moment. I'll try to tap this into being a little bit more level. All right. I'll see you when these are dried enough to pull out. Probably a couple hours. All right. Oh, and it's time for my medications. How about that? See you soon. All right. They're still warm to the touch because this one was pretty deep to do. And then, of course, this one isn't deep, but it has this surface area in here that holds heat. Now, I'm not going to open that one yet because it is the main focus. Let's get this thing here out of the way. It is not the main focus. I have to do this as gentle as I can because this is not all that thick of a mold. And I don't see so well, so this may turn out into a disaster. However, I could always use it as chorizo chips in a different pour. Stretch. Stretch. Sorry, I have to have it towards me a little bit. Get it to roll over. Come on. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, hold on. I have to have my husband do this. He'll probably break it. But you know what happens is I'll yell at him and I'll say thank you anyway, right? All right, back in a second. Okay. I attempted to do this while he wasn't here yet. So I had to cancel my call out for him because I managed to get it up over the bow. stern, whatever. I really don't know what the parts and sides of a boat is called, because I may have been boating before, but I couldn't be bothered. It was the right side, left side, front and back. You know, I wasn't very nautical. I do see a bubble so far, and I can barely see that, but I'm sure you guys can see it really well. So far, I am actually loving this boat. A couple more bubbles. Whoops, I lost it. My eyes just, I think that's it right there. Okay, so we're almost out of there. Wow. The beginning and the end. More problematic, huh? Okay. We'll check this boat out in a second. Let's get this turned back the proper way. Okay. Let that get back in shape. Alright, here's the inside of the boat. I am loving this. And the outside, oh, so much better. Look at that. Oh, I just love this. That makes me excited to see the tribute to Grace. So let's put the boat out of the way. And let's get to the keepsake. I would love to see if her husband would like to have this, and I would ship it to him. I do want to be careful. I don't want to break anything off. And Grace's husband, if you decide to watch this, I hope you and your wife would approve of this. Oh, I am in love with this. Oh, how pretty. Oh my gosh. Grace, I think you would have approved of this. Aw, darn, the beak has a little bit of a hole problem, but I think I'll fix that. And we'll put some eyes in. And otherwise, this came out fantastic. Oh, Gracie will be missed, my dear. I mean, you're with your son. So, I hope this tribute paid enough for you. Love you, girl. Alright, everyone. I'm going to now end this video, and I want to say that for every single one of you, and I do mean every single one of you, you are family to me. And when I have a loss of a family member, and I hear about it, it does affect me. And Grace was a special person. I've had a lot of very special people in and out over the last 3 years. Some people have they just totally just disappeared. And I'm hoping that they're okay. And that they just got tired of my channel. And, oops, I forgot to turn this back. Ah, so I just saw something I was missing right there that just came out. Okay. Let's go ahead and get you some pictures and get this video up. All right. Love y'all and peace out. Oh, wait a minute. Peace out.